When I wouldn't stop bleeding, they rushed me in. It was a nightmare. My brother's wife, who is a nurse, even told me she honestly thought I wouldn't make it. I also opted for a hysterectomy as it came to that or something more dangerous. I only ever wanted one child or none, but my husband wants a large family. I'm trying to bond with my daughter, but it's been hard. The point is, during this time while I was returning from surgery, so about 10 hours after I called, my husband finally responded and demanded to know why I hadn't answered his call. However, my brother had my phone and was so angry that he said, "This is Op's brother. I'm at the hospital. She didn't make it." And turned it off. My husband rushed over and got there when I had just woken up and started shouting until the security forced him out. He didn't get to see our daughter until the next day because I was mostly asleep, and apparently, they needed my signature to allow him back. My sister-in-law thinks it was horribly cruel but that he deserved it. But my brother stands by his prank and says that he only gave my husband 10 minutes of the same fear he had felt at my side for 10+ hours. Whenever he sees my husband, he also keeps telling him that I'm nearly unalived because we waited for him. My brother used to be mostly indifferent to my husband, but now he absolutely hates him. You can see it in his face whenever my husband enters the room, and he's been visiting a lot because he doesn't trust my husband to care for me while I'm still healing. My husband is furious that he won't apologize and that I won't make him, and yelled at me when I said that the only reason my brother had my phone was that he wasn't there. I'm trying to be empathetic. I know he feels guilty. I've spoken to my therapist, and she says the apathy I'm feeling is likely general and not solely focused on him from lingering shock from the trauma, but she didn't say much about the prank. My mother-in-law has been texting me to say that my family is horribly cruel for the prank and that I should go no contact with my brother, and now my husband is saying the same. I just don't know what to do. I'm not in a good headspace. It's been hard to be in the same room with my husband, and I've been sleeping in the guest room with my daughter. He brought up the paternity once, and I just exhaustedly told him to either get out of my face or go stay with his mom if he's planning on stressing me out even more. I really don't feel like myself, and yes, I am taking the likelihood of PPD seriously, and my therapist has suggested that it may be PTSD too. However, I just want more opinions because I just don't know. Update 1. I can't update the old post, but since so many people reached out, I thought I'd make a new one. So, I don't think this will be something we can come back from. I just don't think I'll be able to heal with him because there is no way he didn't know it was me calling, and he still hasn't told me why he didn't answer. I know I thought I wouldn't decide right away, but I actually don't want to forget how terrible it was waiting on him, thinking he couldn't possibly leave me like that, no matter how angry he was. I took the time to think of that moment before it all went down, and just how grossly betrayed, scared, and alone I felt while the contractions were hitting. I was on my knees trying to breathe through the pain while waiting on the phone for him to pick up, and he never did. I just don't think there's any coming back from that. I wouldn't want my daughter to think it's okay to stay with a man who destroyed her trust that way either. I will be contacting an attorney and will be meeting with them in the coming weeks. We had a prenup, so I hope it won't be too hellish. I feel like this situation became even clearer when my friend asked me if I'd still trust him as the one to sign off on my medical papers, and the reaction to that idea was visceral. I wouldn't, and I want him to get off that legality as soon as possible. In fact, there are roommates I had in college whom I trusted more. I would have never ignored so many calls from him consecutively unless I had expressly told him that I was unavailable at a specific time, and even then, I still would have picked up. I feel good with my brother and sister-in-law here with me, especially with her being a nurse and having been there through the birth. It's really helped us bond in a way that we'd never really had time for before. I've also finally told my old friends about the baby, and they are alternating to come and help me out for the next little while. None of this even touches on the paternity test, but I'll get it for the proceedings, so I guess he'll get what he wanted. Anyway, I'm safe and well, and my daughter is healthy and happy as a peach, and pretty much an angel who is happy to sleep peacefully anywhere. She took to breastfeeding with ease, which is such a blessing since everything still hurts. Just making this decision has taken an odd weight off my shoulders, and I'm so thankful to have my brother and sister-in-law by my side. Anyway, thank you for letting me write this out. I'm not good at diaries or journals, but writing to people feels different, and it's actually brilliant for the clarity of the situation. I might try a diary again, as my therapist suggested.